Good morning, I'm Nivareti Manu, and this is your morning news fix for Thursday, 23rd of July. In this update, Stuart Nash says he could have made his point far better. He's resigned as New Zealand First's Napier candidate after his attack on his opponent, sitting National MP Katie Nimmin. Nash claimed Nimmin had taken 9 months off to have a baby and was the laziest MP he'd ever come across. In fact, she took 6 months away from Parliament but continued working in her electorate. In a social media post overnight, Nash says he regrets his words were open to an interpretation he never intended. He doesn't want this distraction to cost New Zealand First or the people of Napier the campaign they deserve. The trajectory is thought to be heading in the right direction despite lower NCEA numeracy pass rates. Just over half of students passed the compulsory numeracy course in May, down more than 5 percentage points on last year. Reading and writing pass rates changed little. Darfield High School principal Andy England told Ryan Bridge people should not read too much into the decline.
Remember, this is the first exam that Year 10 students are taking, and they actually don't need this until they're in Year 11 either, or even Year 12, and they just have to pass this to pass NCEA.
Fears another crisis is emerging as the cost of living bites. The leadership body for free financial mentoring services, FinCap, says it's seen a 57% increase in some cases from 2021. Its latest report shows there's been a 121% rise in total client debt over 5 years to almost $1 billion. CEO Fleur Howard says there's been no increase in steady funding over the last 5 years, and they're losing financial mentors because of that. The prospect of supermarket reform is gaining momentum. National's Nicola Willis is looking at whether splitting Foodstuffs Pack and Save and New World brands could boost competition and lower prices. Labour leader Chris Hipkins says his party would be open to supermarket separation if needed. Grocery policy expert Ernie Newman says there's nothing stopping change from happening.
I'm not diminishing the role of ACT in this, we know where they stand, but if the current Parliament, the overwhelming majority, are in favour of a structural separation here, why do we even need to wait for the election?
Outgoing General Practice New Zealand Chair Brian Betty is preaching the need for strategy to strengthen primary and secondary health care. He joins the board of Health New Zealand today. Betty says Health NZ and the Ministry of Health need a strategic focus to remove primary and secondary sector silos and create one system. He says today's decisions determine where things will be in 5 or 6 years, and a plan is needed to actively solve the current problems. In sport, the edifice of netball's ANZ Premiership has crumbled further, with news that administration staff at the Stars, Magic and Tactics will not have their contracts renewed. All Blacks lock Fabian Holland will return from a shoulder injury in Otago's Ranfurly Shield defence against Mid-Canterbury and Alexandra on Friday. Portugal's Pedro Moreira is firming as favourite to take over as manager of Auckland FC in football's A-League. He has most recently mentored an Uzbekistan club but has previously been an assistant at AS Roma and Porto. I'm Nivareti Manu, and that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.